Well, hello everyone once again. Welcome back to Junkshop Library's Improv Bible Study, where sometimes we have interminable instructions for how to make fancy boxes, and sometimes we have death by fire from God inside the house. Oh, we make fun of the Bible here, just so you know. Wouldn't want anything about this to give you the wrong impression. Our text today is Leviticus 11, the 11th chapter of the third book of Moses called Leviticus. Let's see if anybody gets firebombed today. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Oh boy. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that ye shall eat. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof. As the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch, they are unclean to you. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales, in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas, and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. They shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. And these are they which ye shall have in abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten, they are an abomination. The eagle, and the ossifrage, and the osprey, and the vulture, and the kite after his kind, every raven after his kind, and the owl, and the nighthawk, and the cuckow, and the hawk after his kind, and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gier eagle, and the stork, the heron after her kind, and the lapwing, and the bat. All fowls that creep, going about on all four, shall be an abomination unto you. These ye may eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet, to leap withal upon the earth. Even these of them ye may eat, the locust after his kind, and the bald locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. But all other flying creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you. And for these ye shall be unclean. Whosoever toucheth the carcass of them shall be unclean until the evening. And whosoever beareth aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. The carcasses of every beast which divideth the hoof, and is not cloven-footed, nor cheweth the cud, are unclean unto you. Every one that toucheth them shall be unclean. Oh, there's a lot more. And whatsoever goeth upon his paws among all manner of beasts that go on all four, those are unclean unto you. Whoever so toucheth their carcass shall be unclean until the even. And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes, and be unclean unto the even. They are unclean unto you. These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth, the weasel, and the mouse, and the tortoise after his kind, and the ferret, and the chameleon, and the lizard, and the snail, and the mole. These are unclean to you among all that creep. Whosoever doth touch them, when they be dead, shall be unclean until the even. And upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, doth fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be any vessel of wood, or raiment, or skin, or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done, it must be put into water, and it shall be unclean until the even, so shall it be cleansed. And every earthen vessel, whereinto any of them falleth, whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and ye shall break it. Of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water cometh shall be unclean, and all drink that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean. And everything whereupon any part of their carcass falleth shall be unclean. Whether it be oven or ranges for pots, they shall be broken down, for they are unclean, and shall be unclean unto you. Nevertheless, a fountain or pit wherein there is plenty of water shall be clean, but that which toucheth their carcass shall be unclean. And if any part of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed which is to be sown, it shall be clean. But if any water be put upon the seed, and any part of their carcass fall thereon, it shall be unclean unto you. And if any beast of which ye may eat die, he that toucheth the carcass thereof shall be unclean until the even. And he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. He also that beareth the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination, it shall not be eaten. Whatsoever goeth upon the belly, and whatsoever goeth upon all four, or whatsoever hath more feet among all creeping things that creepeth upon the earth, them ye shall not eat, for they are an abomination. Ye shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall ye make yourselves unclean with them, that ye should be defiled thereby. For I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt, to be your God. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law of the beasts, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the clean and the unclean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. And that's Leviticus chapter 11. So we go from exactly how to sacrifice, to fiery vengeance from on high, to don't eat bats. Okay. Now some of this is obviously just random. Okay? This is just completely arbitrary. Eat this, don't eat that. The more hardcore is the apologist who is explaining this passage, the more likely they are to say that, in essence, God knew nobody would believe him if he explained germ theory, so he just put on the forbidden list the stuff that's likely to give you gross boobies. Okay? Bats carry diseases. You shouldn't eat them. Catfish, has fins but no scales, and they eat other animals' shit off the bottom of the river, so don't eat them. Carrion birds, don't eat them. The flying, creeping things, grasshoppers and beetles and such, what they're talking about is herbivorous stuff, and not dung beetles and such. So you've got, good source of protein there. I told a story I'm not going to retell. Way back, I think in Exodus, maybe during the locust plague, that revolves around how locusts are actually still a coveted source of protein in some of the more poverty-stricken areas of the world. And then if any gross critter crawls on your clothes, soak it in water until the night, and then it will be ceremonially clean. Drown the fleas. Wash off the snail slime. Is what this boils down to. And you can tell that it's probably intended to be something like that, because then if you got pottery, pottery is porous, and you just can't get it clean enough to, you know. So that's the apologetic, is that this is as close as God was going to be able to get to explaining hygiene to a bunch of desert-dwelling primitives. Here's the problem, though. These people believe everything. They believe setting an animal's guts on fire will wash away their sin. They believe a doddering old man who says when he comes down from the volcano that he has heard a voice, and that voice is the person they should worship. They follow the instructions of said doddering old man when he tells them to slaughter each other for worshiping a statue rather than a mountain. Sorry, an invisible force that lives in a cloud on top of a mountain. What possible harm could it have done? I'm not stressed about the, bats or birds and rabbits chew cud. The Bronze Age taxonomy didn't kill a lot of people during the Middle Ages, but the absence of knowing what germs were did. All right? If a benevolent entity actually wrote or inspired this sometimes incredibly boring and sometimes, as I've said before, morally bankrupt collection of short stories, such an entity would have had it within its power to say, I am the Lord thy God. You will believe and act upon what I am about to tell you on pain of death. There are things you cannot see that cause sickness and disease. The best way to get rid of them is to wash stuff and to clean up after you make your business. And, a why goes a long way. Be not near that which is unclean, and touch it not, lest you in turn be counted as unclean until the end of the day. Just fucking tell them about germs! Call it demons! Say demons are too small to be seen, too small and too crafty to be seen with the naked eye. But they creep inside you and destroy your body and make it unfit to do the work of the Lord. Therefore, wash your fucking hands, you goddamn barbarians. See, wasn't hard. Holy shit. All right. The next chapter is 3 things. Number 12, short, and about menstruation. So check back with us soon to find out what a bunch of Bronze Age superstitious primitives, too damn ignorant to figure out how to wash a pot, thought it meant when Flo came to town. Poke the Pope to subscribe. Look at his little face. Y'all take care. We'll see you again soon for more fun, fun, fun.